Good morning and welcome to 20 minutes of Terrace talk. This one's for the runners, the ravers and the misbehaviours. We missed it last week because Steve was on holiday. How selfish is that?
I'm sorry about that.
So yeah, we didn't have one last week, but this week we are back. 20 minutes of Terrace talk consists of Steve classic kits. Every week Steve brings in 3 classic kits and we talk about them. We're going to do the trainer release of the week. 3 pairs of trainers that I have chosen for trainer release of the week. We're going to talk about this weekend's fixtures and 40 years of fashion, which is Tales of Grails, where I will give you an iconic piece of fashion from the past 40 years. So, how was your holiday, Steve?
It was great. Snowboarding, top of a mountain, 28 degrees. It's colder here than it was there. Unbelievable. But it was good.
Fair enough, right? What you brought in this week, mate?
Well, 3 absolute classics. Parma, totally unbelievable strips. They came along and they conquered when it came to strips. And we went on about Fiorentina, we went about all the Italian teams, Inter and all the rest of it, but Parma just had...
I'm getting a heavy Leeds vibe for the first one.
Yeah, it is. It's, the colours especially. Yeah, Leeds, I think, did have kits that were very, very similar. But definitely Parma were something special when it came to it, especially the Umbro kits as well. Italian club wearing an Umbro kit was quite...
What's going on with the sort of medieval lace rope going
that was just a thing. I mean, this is 93 to 95, so I think Man United, we Cantona wearing the ties and home and away, and I'm sure there was international teams had it as well. But yeah, really good kits, and obviously they've all got Parmalat on them, and this is a company that actually bought the club in 91.
It's a dairy company, if I'm not mistaken.
A dairy company, yes. They took the club over, and good and bad, so made them unbelievably good and absolutely destroyed them in the end.
When I think of, I might have been too young, but when I think of Parma, I just think Tino Asprilla.
Yeah, Tino Asprilla, Dino Baggio, Gianfranco Zola.
Zola there as well, was he?
He was there, yeah. Yep.
I didn't know that. So
he went
to Chelsea for there then, yeah?
No, he went Napoli, Parma, Chelsea. So he played for some good clubs.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, that's it. So 93, 95, home and away. They just won the Cup Winners' Cup at Wembley against Antwerp, the old Cup Winners' Cup. So they won that, and then they got these 2 kits. And they didn't do quite as well. It's still, I mean, you're talking about Parma weren't one of the big teams in Italy, like Napoli did. But obviously this Parma ploughed a lot of money into them. And then this season they were finished 5th in Serie A.
Could you compare it to maybe Blackburn in the 90s? This is the same sort of era, is it?
Yeah, definitely. Same idea.
Okay.
But just money got ploughed in. So
to what was this at the time was the best league in the world, eh?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Everybody watched it. We've discussed that before.
Yes, we have. Yes.
Yeah, so this is sort of a lesser team that did amazing. Had that classic old stadium as well. Coppa Italia semi-final. They were Cup Winners' Cup runners up. They got beat from Arsenal in the Cup Winners' Cup final.
What year was that?
93, 94. So they've got to the final. They won it, the Cup Winners' Cup. They got to the final the following year. Coppa Italia semi-finalists, beat from Arsenal, and then just crazy. Thomas Brolin playing for them. As I said, Zola, Baggio, just a great team. I think they won the league as well. I'm sure they won the league around about this time as well. So those ones, not such a great season. Then they move on to this one, and it's a Lotto kit, and
classic 90s brand.
Yeah, so this season they get to 4th in Serie A. They win the Coppa Italia. They beat Fiorentina in the final of this one, and they go and win the UEFA Cup as well against Marseille. So they're winning European trophies near enough every couple of years and cups and whatever. And in this team you've got Gianluigi Buffon, who everybody
legendary
goalie. And then
it seems to have been about forever.
Yeah. And Argentinians, there are 3 Argentinians. There's Roberto Cecchini, Hernan Crespo, and Veron playing for them as well. So I mean, utterly amazing players that they had.
Veron, yeah.
But Kris, but it all goes it all goes particularly sour for them, milk-wise. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But they go into administration.
Did you plan that joke for last night?
That's it, yeah. Definitely. That just came to me. So 2000. So bought the Parmalat by them in 1991. There's a bankruptcy with this company, and I can't remember the full story of it. But
they run out of cows or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, definitely a bankruptcy. So they go into that. Team gets totally makes them rubbish again, and then in 2015 they're still owned by Parmalat, and they go into second bankruptcy, and they end up in the 4th tier Italian football. So they go right down. They do a Rangers and go right down the leagues for the second time.
Was it still the same club, or did they actually do a Rangers?
I think they are the same club. I think they've clawed their way back. It's taken them a long time, but they've clawed their way back. But they'll never. There's going to be one of these clubs like they're not going to be like a Napoli going to come back and start winning leagues again. I think this company just absolutely destroyed them.
It only takes one Saudi to come along, and 10 years later.
That's it, exactly. So what a story they had through the 90s, and then an absolute failure.
I vaguely remember them from 90s football, but like I said, it was maybe just before my time. I didn't know Zola were there. I didn't know Crespo was there.
Yeah, they were all there.
Veron was better in Italian football, was he? Because he was mince when he went to Man United.
That's it.
Anyway, that is Steve's classic kits. Tune in next week to see what Steve brings in. So that'll move on to trainer release of the week, which gives, I have 3 photos for you, Steve. We're not like big time, so people don't send us trainers to talk about yet. And I can't, well, I'm a busy guy just now, so I can't do it every one.
Another runner.
This was, yeah, it's all runners to be fair.
Yeah.
It is all runners. I was right about the Napoli it would have been 2 weeks ago. That was a very popular release. A lot of people
was
gravitating to that. I said on it, I might look different on the photos. The sole's a lot darker in real life than what those photos looked like. I thought.
Okay.
Always like wee tweaks like that. But yeah, this is the Overkill. This was released this week, and this is actually a 6,000.
Which is a very Napoli coloured one as well.
It's a 5,000 colourway. It's a 5,000 colourway that they put on the 6,000. I've not read into what it was, but it seems to be quite a popular release amongst people. Like I say, I never really criticise what Overkill do. They make some really nice trainers, nice releases.
No, they're a nice colour.
Yeah?
Definitely. I'd wear
Would
them.
you buy that release?
I would wear them, yeah.
Yeah, different. Like I said, it's a 6,000. It's just got a 5,000 colourway on it. Slightly tweaked once more. There was 2 ZX 8000s that caught my eye this week. One more so than the other. And there was another one, sorry. There was a purple, black, yellow and cream 8000 that was released. I'll see if we can get Declan to add photos to what we're talking about. The purple and the one that I just mentioned, that would be the one out of all of them I would go for. But again, just basically sitting here saying they're releasing far too many 8000s. It's getting a bit boring now, so I'll not dwell on it forever. Yeah, apart from that, there's not really much else that's caught my attention trainer-wise. I'm going to be honest. The Spezial launch comes out next week. That goes on the 24th, so we spoke about them a while ago because the Spezial photos always tend to drip out well before. I think it's a lot of just recycled models. If everybody's seen the photos, they all just look recycled. The Samoa 2 in the original colourway is a pretty cool thing with the small toe bumper. I would buy that one just for nostalgic OG colourways and wanting these sort of models. So yeah, I wouldn't have known about that, but the rest of them, would I grab any? No, what about you?
It's hard to say at the moment because I mean they're bringing that many. How can anybody afford to collect now? You know what I mean? In this day and age, and the pricing that they're doing them, you know.
But this is it. Like me, as a person who came into the game as a love of trainers and who has a trainer shop that has not got as much trainers as it used to, and it's just full of clothes now. It's like you're looking for a spark. It's like the same with music. It's like it needs something to ignite it again. There is some really nice models being released. There is some really nice runners and flats that I've seen. But is interest the same? I don't think so.
That goes around. I'll come back again.
I probably will come back again. The love of it for people is still there. They're obviously still die-hard collectors, and there is some, like I said, there is some nice trainers coming out. But yeah,
you're still finding them every week, so there is the good ones you You show me, you know.
What I want to see is, like I've said, like people like Soul Rebel in Edinburgh, Conor McKenzie. I want to see, like, give that boy a shot. That boy makes far more creative stuff, far cooler stuff than anything I've seen kicking about anywhere about the UK. I've said that this boy deserves that crown as the UK's number one. I think they should give him a shot. You know what I mean? Let him actually focus on it 100%. He's got like the ska mentality to it, or the music element. He knows the roots of it. He wouldn't be putting out something recycled. Like, give boys like this a choice. Spice it up again. That's what I'm thinking. Check out who Soul Rebel is. He's a good lad. Shout out Connor. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one, which is fixtures.
Yeah, interesting fixtures this weekend. So we'll start with the Scottish Cup semi-finals, and Sunday, the more on it, uninteresting one, Celtic versus St Mirren. Hard to say. I mean, St Mirren have already beat them at Hampden, so why not again? You know, I can't see it, but I can't see Celtic letting them away with it again. But you never know.
I don't know. See, that whole bottom, like, St Mirren show up sometimes they don't. I think St Mirren are going to be in that playoff spot. It's going to be either them or Aberdeen, I just think. But you say this sort of thing and then the bounce back.
As long as it's no one team there.
I hope they beat Celtic.
yeah.
But
just for interest's sake.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe they could. I'll go a Stevie Dra.
Right, okay.
Why
so
not?
the maddest derby in Scotland for me is Dunfermline v Falkirk in the semi-final.
Oh,
which
they
is,
do not like each other.
Yeah, maddest derby ever.
Where is it?
Hampden.
Semi-final.
Hampden.
Sorry.
Yeah, so it's Dunfermline v Falkirk, and I would imagine there'll be a massive crowd at that, and there'll be good crowd scenes, I would think.
Dunfermline have been on a good run with that.
Yeah,
they've been on a good run with that. Playing that in what is classed as kind of a derby as well.
Well, it's a strange derby, but it's a big one, isn't it? So, and you just kind of think that Falkirk are going to be too strong.
Falkirk have been really good all season, but like, I don't know.
You never know.
The magic of the cup run.
Well, the way Dunfermline destroyed Aberdeen in the last round, so
and Hibs. Well,
yeah, and Hibs.
So yeah, you know what? I'll go Dunfermline for that.
Yeah.
I had them on that cup when I got a win a couple of weeks ago. So
I'll go draw all the way. I'll go draw all the way to penalties.
Maybe it's a shout.
Yeah. So, 2 massive games in the English Premiership at the bottom. So we're looking at Spurs v Brighton and Leeds v Wolves. And after the result Leeds had at Man United on Tuesday night, they've kind of dragged themselves out of this, and it's kind of put a hell of a lot of pressure on the Tottenham, hasn't it?
I think Tottenham are going down. I think what they sitting there, is it 6 points behind? I'm pretty sure they're sitting in 18th and.
But they're only a couple of points behind West Ham though, so they're still kicking about as well. So I'm not sure if they've got to play one another before the end of the season, but it's certainly looking a bit shaky for Spurs. You know,
it looks shaky for anybody that's in the relegation spot. Spurs should never be there, but they are. Do you think they should have sacked Ange?
Probably did it at the wrong time. Because obviously they've done it at the wrong time.
How do you sack somebody who's got your first European trophy?
Exactly. This is the way of modern football, isn't it?
How many managers have they had this year? This is the third. This season, this is the third.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but looking at these 2 fixtures, Leeds have definitely. You can't see Leeds losing at home to Wolves.
No, they look like at the Man United game.
If they hadn't got the Man United result, different story. But it looks totally different now. And Brighton's no
Leeds are used to these battles. Yeah. Leeds is a team that's like they've crawled their way back up from the 90s or whatever, and they're used to like what I said about Southampton in a podcast that's not went out yet. Like they're used to that battle. Tottenham are not used to this. Mm-hmm. The players are not going to be like, they're not going to like us. The whole club's not going to like it. I can see Tottenham going down.
And that's not an easy team to play if you're in that kind of trouble either with Brighton, are they? Brighton can surprise loads of people, home and away. So
I'm going to go for a Brighton win.
Yeah, I'll just go for a Stevie Dra in that game and a win for Leeds, and it's going to put them totally under pressure. So,
is that the only games at the bottom?
They're the most interesting ones on Saturday, definitely.
Right, okay.
So we'll have a look at the Championship, and your favourites Millwall. So they've got QPR at home, so it's an old London derby there. So I think Millwall have got a very good chance of going up automatically.
I hope they do. I've mentioned that a loads of times. I hope they do. It seems like they fell off. I think they should have been well up about there. More focused on Wrexham. Everybody's more focused on Wrexham going up, were they? What?
Yeah, it's the last chance saloon for them. They've got Stoke at home, but they've kind of 2 results have kind of blown it for them in the last couple of weeks, and I think they've got to win everything now to sort of be in that playoff place. Wouldn't put it past them though, because they've done it all in the past, haven't they? So the last couple of seasons.
One last fairy tale run.
So I'm going to go with Millwall winning a Wrexham.
Are they ready for the Premiership?
Wrexham. Amount of money, it's 100 million, isn't it? It's 120 million or whatever you get. So the amount of money is there, and those 2 that own them, they would be ready.
But look, see what I think about this. It reminds me of Gretna. Remember that guy who used to smoke loads back in the day and had the alpaca farm or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then what was it? He died, and then Gretna was gone about a day later. Was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Went with his heart instead of his head, and that was it. And I think he took all his fortune, his family's fortune with him, putting money into them. But that's a different story for another time.
I just get that sort of, you know what I mean? It's like that sort of thing. Like they'll get to the Premier League, right? Mm-hmm. They'll get there, but then what?
I think the American money will see them okay, and the money they're going to get from the Premiership as well, and Sky. I think anybody gets in that league's got a chance, don't they?
Yeah, they do, but like, I don't know. Like, what is their goal here? They'll be playing European football at some point. They'll win the Premier League. Like, do I see Wrexham winning the Premiership? No.
No, but I mean, there could be, when they're building a new standard, they're making that stadium look really good, and they've got a big following around the world now. So, yeah, I've always said that as well. When they start to lose, that's when the problems are going.
They've got a big following around the world just now because of Deadpool and that, right? But what happens when they go?
Yeah, if they go, then there's a big problem. Yeah, that's crashed.
I've already read about them, what they want about selling it and everything, how much it's worth. Like, it's a business. Like, this is just my thought, but it just reminds me of Gretna. Like, I'll go so far and then
that's it exactly.
Hey, let's see. They might go in. What else?
What the Scottish Championships, where you've got the top of the league. You've got Arbroath v Raith Rovers, and you've got Airdrie Partick Thistle. So St Johnstone, I think, are away with it. So I think Airdrie Raith Rovers can catch Arbroath now because of the way the results went on during the week.
I didn't think Arbroath ever wanted to play top flight football.
Again, did they have the
this
stadium?
Is what I mean.
That's it. Yeah,
they're always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm still going to go for. Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I was going to go for an Arbroath one, but I'm going to go for a Raith Rovers one. Just what you're saying, I'm going to go for Raith Rovers win, and they'll catch them.
Yeah.
And Airdrie v Partick Thistle, I think Partick Thistle just keep blowing it every week. So, and it's Airdrie at the bottom. So, and it's Ross County at the bottom, Airdrie second bottom. So, I'm kind of looking at that. Ross County are going to struggle here to get off the bottom of the table because I think Airdrie are going to beat Partick Thistle on Saturday.
I would agree with you, Steve.
Yeah, it's an interesting Scottish League One. So it's Cove versus Stenhousemuir and Inverness versus Kelty, and it's just a point between them, and it's just eeksy peeksy every week. Eeksy peeksy. So I'm going to go for just a follow on. Stenhousemuir to win and Inverness to win. That's going to go right to the wire, I think there.
I think Inverness will win that, yeah.
Yeah, and as in the Scottish League 2, it's Annan v Spartans and East Kilbride v Edinburgh City, and that'll go to the wire as well. I think Spartans they'll just keep winning, and someone's got to give towards the end of the season. I think it's too early, but Spartans and East Kilbride at the top of that league. We'll see what happens with them, but I think it'll be another win each for them. So if you're watching Peter Cooper on,
we should do it Saturday. We should put the team Cooper
on. That's it.
See what was said.
That's my fixtures.
And I'll take us on to our next segment, which is 40 years of fashion. And today, I have been absolutely everywhere, so I forgot about to get something for it. So we've took the jacket off my back, but it gives me a good talking point about Best Company, to be honest.
It is a nice jacket, though.
Oh, it's a cracker of a jacket. This is my favourite jacket for a long time. I've been getting a lot of Best Company pieces the past wee while, just to be different. You've got to spice it up. I mean, I love Stone Island and CP, but like, give it other options. So Best Company was founded in the early 80s in Italy. It was in 1982. It came into prominence about 85-ish, probably, say like the Pananaro era. heavily, like, it's a brand heavily associated with that and with Terrace culture. A lot of 80s casuals have fond memories of Best Company. Designs were, I like its floral designs. I'm actually wearing the Best Company t-shirt. This is like some sort of ice cream refresher thing going on. Really bold and graphic prints, especially the jumpers, the sweaters, that sort of thing. It was heavily oversized. This jacket that I'm showing today is part of the yachting stuff. I've wore, I think it was John Riley's podcast. I was wearing another Best Company. That was another yachting jacket. Yeah. Really nice how they do the liners. Like this is obviously like a light blue and a yellow. It just fits so well. So we'll see what AI has to say about it, because AI puts it a lot more clean and better cut than me. We're getting the Pananaro era. Whereas Best Company really matters culturally, it became a key uniform in the Italian youth subculture called the Pananaro. Pananaro scene started in Milan, centred around fast food spots, American-influenced fashion, designer labels and status dressing. Best Company sat alongside brands like CP Company and Stone Island. Wearing Best Company wasn't just fashion, it was a statement of identity, wealth and belonging. Do you remember Best Company back in your...
Yes, I do. And they were.
He was waiting for the cheeky comment.
There, yeah, they were on sale, and when they came out, you're saying 82, so I think Valentino's
funded in 82.
Yeah, so I think Valentino's in the Ferry and Valentino's in Perth had them about mid 80s, so maybe about 85, 86. I got my first Best Company sweatshirt, along with an Ocean Pacific sweatshirt, a yellow one.
Another brand that I've been taking back. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And a very bold, like, notice the t-shirt you're wearing is very, very bold, and it was a very bold, colourful t-shirt I had. And I actually had it for a few years, and I actually wore it to the World Cup in 1990 in Italy.
You told that story actually.
And it wasn't long after that I had them hanging out on the washing line in the backies, and some thieving twat took them away.
I think Kris Holmes was the first person to make me aware of Best Company.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was. Kris isn't here, but he would have been a good boy to weigh in on this.
Yeah.
But I think it was him. Obviously, I was aware of it, but he started bringing it up. Like, Kris used to love to talk about the brands he was wearing back in the day when the shop first opened. And yeah, because I remember this time they've redone it. I'm pretty sure it was released in Germany, so there was a lot of reissues. Did you not get a Best Company reissue jumper off of me?
Yeah, I did. It's a yachting one, purple one.
Yeah, there was a few. I had a really cool embroidered ship for a while, but no one really. That's the one you got, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the embroidered stuff for the 80s is mad sought after, right? Resale value, like I've been looking about online just now. Some people asking for mint condition 80s jumpers, anything from 180 quid to 250, or you can really get a steal if you really like look and somebody doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
You can get it for pennies, but. I think like it's a staple in the casual culture, and boys obviously with the nostalgic roots of stuff go back to it. A lot of people have been messaging me about the jackets recently and the stuff I've been wearing. This t-shirt in particular is only cool with the jacket. It's a bit hippie-ish with the sleeves.
That's fine on its own.
That's not something I would just go out with in the t-shirt. I do like it with the coat. But one of my biggest regrets, and I'm going to say this because I shouldn't have done it. Me and Declan last year had a Best Company, a red jacket with a hoodie, and it's one of the coolest Best Company jackets I have ever seen. It had the Spelltex logo all across the back and arms, bright red, smock sort of style with a hoodie, and I should never have sold it. I should never ever have sold it. I've been thinking about it for about the past 2 weeks, thinking I should maybe chase the guy up that bought that and try and buy it back, because it's just the coolest jacket. And what makes these things so special is you're not going to find them again.
So especially I'm going to find the ones that got knocked off the washing line, am I?
No, they're not as accessible. It is more of a, we won't call it grail status, but like finding a nice piece like this that fits you because the sizing isn't too weird, and obviously it has went through, like an 80s piece has lasted 40 years in a good condition. It's not easy to find. So that's why, yeah, this week we have picked the jacket off my back.
It was worth showing. If it was a cracker.
Would you wear it?
Yes.
I would never fit you. You're too gangly.
That's it. Thanks.
Right, Steve. Thanks for bringing in the kits and helping us out as always this week.
No problem.
You meant to say like, subscribe, ding that bell.
Yeah. Well, like and subscribe and ding that bell.
This has been, I was going to say the Dundee Soul podcast, it's not. This has been 20 odd minutes of Terrace Talk. We hope you go and enjoy your weekend. Have a good one.